Nearly ready to go for the UEFA Conference League second qualifying round, second leg against NS Mura, and I'm with Jamie Lennon after the team have safely arrived here in Slovenia for the game. Lenny, how are you? How was the trip over?
Yeah, good, Jamie. It was nice quick trip over, so it wasn't really as long as we expected, so it's good to be here.
Yeah, charter from Dublin, a short bus trip, and the hotel is really nice. All the facilities you guys have here are setting you up nicely to prepare for the final 24 hours or so before the game.
Yeah, it's good we can get a charter over so we can just get straight here rather than stop off somewhere on the way. So yeah, we got here and then I think it was an hour bus journey to the hotel, and we got plenty of time then to relax and catch up on a bit of sleep and stuff like that, and getting ready to train now tonight.
Yeah, how does the next 24 hours work for the players? We're speaking at 6:15 local time, so just over an hour till the game tomorrow.
It's just normal really, as you would at home. A lot of rest. I think it's good that we're together in the hotel. We can kind of socialise a bit and hang around the hotel a little bit together and have a coffee or whatever, and it's just now about rest and trying to feel right with the food and stuff, stay hydrated with the water, and just do as much as you can, get as much rest before tomorrow's game.
And nice to be able to see the stadium tonight, do about 45 minutes on the pitch and just get used to the surroundings as well, because in the League of Ireland it's so common you'd never go to a ground that you've not played at before, whereas here none of us have ever been there before.
Yeah, it is, but it's good that we can get there, I think, and just get the legs moving for an hour. Obviously a good bit of travelling today, so I don't think we want to just be sitting around all day afterwards, so it's good to get the legs moving then before dinner tonight and get a feel for the surroundings and the pitch and what kind of climate we'll be playing in and stuff like that, so it's good that we can do that.
Before we talk about the game and the importance of it and how excited you are, let's just roll back to a few months ago when you picked up quite a serious injury that kept you out for longer than any of us wanted, and you only made your return recently in the league against Dundalk and come on in the European game. But what happened and how have the last number of months been?
Yeah, it was just I think it was early March. I just picked up an injury in training, fractured my fifth metatarsal, so it was expected to just heal on its own. I think after 5 weeks there wasn't much improvement. I ended up having to get the operation, which set me back a couple of months, and then kind of a couple of little setbacks here and there then when I was getting back into training, which it's natural in a way. Being out for so long, then you pick up a couple of little niggles and stuff, but I'm feeling good now. It's been I suppose been a very frustrating kind of first half of the season for myself, and I was kind of actually feeling quite good in the first couple of games, going into a little bit of a run, and then that happens, but it's part of the game. It's good that I can get back now, and I had that target in mind to trying to get back before Europe, and thankfully I got a couple of minutes last week, so it's good to hit that target, I suppose.
Yeah, you've worked really hard with Sam and Dave and all the medical staff too over the last little while. Tell us a bit about that and the process of maybe from the operation to all the stages you have to go through to ensure that when you do come back you don't have a relapse or a reoccurrence of the injury.
Yeah, well, I would have been on crutches, or I would have been in a boot, I suppose, for 11 or 12 weeks, so it wasn't a lot I could do lower body, but I could still kind of do stuff in the gym and other parts of my body with Sam and Dave before, while the lads were training, get some bits done and stuff. But then once I was back, it was just a matter of strengthening up the legs again and making sure that I couldn't pick up any major niggles with other parts of my body because I've been out for so long. But it went quite smoothly. It was natural that I was going to pick up a couple of little setbacks. It was mainly to do with the foot itself, so it wasn't actually anything else. But it was a long road, but it's good to be back now.
I know from knowing you that you're not a good watcher of the team when you're not playing, if you're injured or suspended or just out of the team, because you're so passionate and it means so much to you on the pitch. So how did you find the last few months having to watch, and clearly in the last few weeks you knew you were close to getting back, which I'm sure made you even more anxious to get back on the pitch with the lads, knowing Europe was coming up, knowing an important last series of games and the cup and stuff to come as well?
Yeah, I've said it a couple of times that the worst part of the injury was the Friday nights going to the games and sitting in the stands, not having any impact at all really in the game, so not really feeling a part of the big wins or the bad losses or anything like that. So something that I missed. I'm not a great watcher regardless, but when you're in the stands and you can't even come on and affect the game in any way, it's frustrating. But I suppose I'm grateful now that I'm back, and it's something I don't take for granted now, being back on the pitch and just training, just trying to enjoy it, just trying to get back up to full fitness and see where it takes us, try and get into a run for the rest of the season.
You've worked very hard to get back, but it's also come at a good time in terms of these European matches, which I know would have been a target for you, and before that as well you come on in a league game against Dundalk, and two big atmospheres at Richmond to come back, so decent timing in terms of the recovery. How have you enjoyed being back on the pitch in the last couple of games?
Yeah, I would have liked to be back a couple of weeks earlier, but as I said, a couple of little setbacks, but I'm glad that I did get a couple of minutes against Dundalk, especially going into Europe. I knew if I played any part in Europe that would be a very high intensity game, and I probably would need a couple of minutes before that just to ease myself back into it. So I'm glad to be back, and really enjoyed getting the 30 minutes last week, and in a really good performance for ourselves. Slightly disappointed with the result, but I've got a good chance now tomorrow to try and make it a really good night.
In terms of Europe for you, am I right in saying IFK Norrköping, the Swedish team, the last time the club were in Europe would have been your only proper experiences of Europe with St. Pat's?
Yeah.
How are they for you? And I think you've over 100 senior appearances now. You made your 100th appearance in the last league game of last season against Waterford, but only 2 in Europe. I know the club haven't been there since, but there's stuff League of Ireland players talk about quite a lot, and you've only had 2, but you'd be hopeful to try and get a few more, including tomorrow evening.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that experience. Bit disappointed and frustrated that we haven't been able to get into Europe since then. So I've missed it, and yeah, it's something that I want to get more of, is more experience playing in Europe and playing in big games. It's the reason that you want to kind of do well in the league table, is so you can play in nights like we are going to tomorrow. And it's the reason we work hard all year to try and finish as high up the table as possible, is to play in these type of games. So really looking forward to getting playing, and it's a massive occasion, and it really feels like a proper European. Like last week definitely felt like a proper European night in Richmond, so hopefully the same again tomorrow.
The away experience in Norrköping probably helps you preparing for this one, given you've done it before. I know you were probably still only a teenager, or certainly close with them. What do you remember of that, and how will that help in preparation for what we're going into tomorrow?
Yeah, it'd be similar. They were a top side, and they done well in their league that year or the year before to qualify into the Europa League, and I suppose we were probably well beaten at home, and over there played quite well but just didn't get a result. It was a hard ladder to climb after the result at home, but overall a really good experience. Great playing in front of so many fans, playing against a different type of football team than we're used to here in the league. So it'll help me again tomorrow. I think we've proved already that we can put up the teams like this with our performance last week, and to come away disappointed of the result just shows how much we expect of ourselves and how much belief that we'll have going into tomorrow. You had
30 minutes last week, a 1-1, still alive, as Tim said at the start of the last week. Let's just make sure we're coming out here with something to play for, and that's certainly the case. What's your thoughts on the match and where it sits?
We didn't want the tie to be lost in the first night or the first game. We wanted to take it to the second, and we have done that. Looking back, I said we were probably disappointed not to win the game with the chances we had and the performance level that we put in, but I think we've got to give respect to them. They probably didn't play as well as they would have liked, and I'm sure there'll be a different type of team tomorrow. But the main thing is for us is just to have the belief that we can go and win the game tomorrow. And I think if you look through the group we have, I think we've got a lot of lads that can instill that into us, and training's been really good this week, and we've prepared as well as we can. So it's just a matter of going out there and giving 100% tomorrow, which we'll do.
And lastly, 150 St. Pat's fans at least will be in the stadium. I know your mum and dad are on the way as we speak as well. So that'll be something we'll be hopeful to try and give those 150 people, including your mum and dad, I'm sure they're very proud of you, something to cheer about tomorrow night.
Yeah, definitely. The atmosphere last week, although 2 stands were closed, was unbelievable, and the noise that they made throughout the game, I think, really pushed the lads on. So hopefully the 150 tomorrow can make as much noise as possible, and it'd be great to give Inchicore another European night next week if we can. But it's just a matter of giving everything we've got tomorrow. But yeah, it's great, and the amount of young fans that we see in the stadium nowadays is something that we haven't seen in the last couple of years. So we were only talking about it with the lads, like it's brilliant to see how many young fans there is in the stadium now, and lads asking for pictures and things like that. It really feels like a proper football club, so hopefully we can replicate the fans' emotions off the pitch. Hoping we can do that on the pitch tomorrow.